Hey everyone, my name is Ryan Clouse and I'm one of the instructors here for the WAM department at Life Pacific College. I want to talk to you about why it's really important for us as musicians and singers to be able to have some experience or to kind of know our way around the studio from a spiritual standpoint, from a musical standpoint, and essentially from a creative standpoint. And let me tackle that one first. Creativity. We all come from a creative God. We have the imprint of a creative God inside each and every one of us. So we have a drive for creativity, some more than others, but for us as musicians, for us as artists, that creativity comes alive. And that's where the studio, being a producer, really aids creativity, because creativity spawns creativity. Many of us are sitting in our rooms doing scales, practicing, working on our craft, and a lot of that needs an outlet. It needs somewhere to go. We have ideas for songs, we have riffs we've created, little motifs, and it needs to go somewhere. What better way than getting in the studio and being able to track those things? And I'll tell you, from my own experience, once you start tracking that, then more ideas come. So creativity spawns creativity. And for us to be able to create these things, we're essentially just tapping into that imprint, that handprint that God has put in each and every one of us. And the second point is refinery. So you have all these creative ideas, but once you get in the studio, let me be honest with you, you'll hear all the mistakes. When I first started recording, when I first started tracking, and I listened back to my own voice, it got pretty discouraging pretty quick. But that's not to say, well, you should just quit because you're not that good. No, the point is that the studio and being a producer will actually refine you as a musician, as a singer. Because once you hear all those flaws, once you hear all those mistakes and all those nuances, the good and the bad that are in your voice and in your fingers and in your skill, all the bad things you recognize, man, I really need to work on that. And so you become a better musician. So being a studio producer and a musician really pulls the best out of you, and it refines you and your skill. And lastly, the third point is that being a studio producer, knowing how to navigate around the studio, it's revolutionary, because with your creativity and you developing your skill even more, so refining your skill, there are things in each and every one of us, there are songs in each and every one of us that nobody else has, because it's you. It's your hands, it's your voice, it's your ideas, how your brain works. And that creativity and that skill being used and developed to be able to bring the kingdom of God to earth, that's one of the most revolutionary things about being a producer, is as you're pulling these things out, as you're drawing these things out of you, you're basically making more room for the kingdom of heaven to come to earth. And so with those three things, creativity, refinery, and it being revolutionary, it's really important for us as musicians, especially for us who are Christ followers, to be able to use this part of our skill and to develop it into becoming studio engineers and producers to make room for more of the kingdom of God to come to earth.